Thank you for being here and watching this video. If you enjoy it, please like, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comments. I want this channel to be more than just a collection of videos. I want it to be a community where we explore fascinating ideas, discuss them openly, learn from one another, and grow together. So don't stay silent, join the conversation. Secular humanism, consciousness, and the search for meaning without religion. Not everyone finds their answer in faith, and not everyone finds it in its absence. Religion requires something specific and non-negotiable. Genuine surrender, sincere belief, the willingness to place yourself inside a structure of meaning that arrives from outside and asks to be received rather than constructed. For many people, this is exactly what they need. For others, something in the rational core resists, not from arrogance or laziness, but from a genuine incompatibility between what they actually experience internally and what belief of that kind requires. Atheism, the obvious alternative, has its own problem. It is primarily a negation, a position defined by what it rejects rather than what it offers. Having dismantled the religious framework, it often fails to replace it with anything capable of bearing the weight of a human life. It answers the question of whether God exists but says very little about how to live, how to face suffering, what obligations one has to others, or where meaning comes from in a universe that does not provide it automatically. For the person who needs more than the rejection of one answer, atheism frequently proves insufficient. Philosophy seems like the natural next step, and for some people it is. But academic philosophy is genuinely difficult, not because the ideas exceed ordinary people, but because the accumulated technical vocabulary and sheer volume of the tradition make it inaccessible without significant investment that most lives do not accommodate. Buddhism offers something more practical, but from a Western perspective, it can feel excessively mystical. Occultism carries associations that most modern Westerners find difficult to engage with seriously. Secular humanism emerged precisely in this gap, and its history is more distinguished than its contemporary reputation suggests. Its roots reach back to the Renaissance, when thinkers like Erasmus and Pico della Mirandola began placing human dignity at the center of philosophical reflection, drawing on classical antiquity rather than medieval theology. In the 19th century, figures like Auguste Comte explicitly attempted to construct secular alternatives to religion, complete with ethics, community, and even ritual, grounded in reason and human solidarity. The mid-20th century produced the Humanist Manifestos, signed by thinkers including Bertrand Russell and John Dewey, articulating a comprehensive secular worldview with genuine philosophical depth. What secular humanism actually offers is morality and ethics without religion, a framework for living well and treating others well that does not require supernatural claims. Its moral foundation rests on human dignity and the obligations that dignity generates. Kant argued 2 centuries ago that moral obligation can be derived from reason alone. The categorical imperative requires no theology. Secular humanism inherits this tradition, grounding ethics in human flourishing, the reduction of suffering, and the cultivation of compassion. For those drawn to something beyond purely rationalist ethics, who sense that human life contains dimensions science describes but does not exhaust, secular humanism accommodates a kind of spirituality without requiring its mystical forms. Awe before natural complexity. Connection to the long human story across history. The experience of beauty and love that briefly opens ordinary life into something larger. All of this fits within a humanist framework without requiring ritual, doctrine, or claims that exceed what reason can evaluate. What secular humanism provides is a sense of support and resistance to evil, a foundation for acting with integrity and engaging with suffering, without the specific doctrines of religious systems. It will not satisfy everyone. Those who need the full architecture of a living religious tradition will find it too thin. But for the person whose rational core resists surrender without offering emptiness in return, it provides something genuinely valuable, a coherent, historically grounded, philosophically serious way of being human in a world that does not explain itself. Thank you for watching all the way through. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know what you think about the ideas in this video, and feel free to share your own perspective or advice in the comments. I genuinely like to read it. If you enjoyed this kind of content, please like the video and subscribe. My hope is to build not just a channel, but a community where people explore meaningful ideas, exchange thoughts, and grow together. See you in the next videos. Bye.